to be the best available as of now, followed by Vince Siebert and Matt DeVera. And I believe Kyle Haggerty is leaning more towards the Mariners than the Cubs right now. And who do you think would be picked next?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a nice little young gun there in Kyle Haggerty. Got a couple of them there. Tyler Sable's another one. But I would have to, I'd have to say we might want to go with the young gun and Kyle Haggerty.
All right, and he would be in his second overall year. As I said last year, he's picked by Jeff Bradley, and that is the team he is leaning forward to right now, and he is the Seattle Mariners with the next overall pick at 14. But Blake Baker has a good way of persuasion with these kids. And it looks as if Kyle Haggerty will be the next selected, and this is going to be a surprise to Jeff Bradley.
Outstanding. That's pretty solid for the Cubs. Cubs have 3 good players right there in Sable, Van Duzer, and Haggerty.
Yeah, they look to be a very great team going into the Slugfest. And right now, the Mariners on the clock, Jeff Bradley's team. And Vince Siebert was on his team last year, as he is still the best available, followed by Matt DeVera, and looks to be Ryan Falsgraf is the next best available on your list, is what I'm reading right now. Do you think it'll be any surprise if we see possibly a lower pick get picked or just the higher seeds?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a couple of picks out there that I'm pretty surprised with. Bobby Eccleston's pretty solid. Logan Flipson made some great plays last year, too. So, those could be some boys that could jump up there.
Yeah, it says that play that he knocked down the wall in right field last year, cut up his leg. And right now...
Well, Logan's used to cutting up things. He jabbed himself in the arm with a knife not too long ago.
Yeah, I remember hearing that about in the news. The old soccer coach had problems with that. He usually has a problem with those kids. And Vince Siebert is still the next best available right now. And last year, as I said before, he was picked by the Mariners. And as you check at the bottom of the screen, the game times for the first 6 games, those are subject to change as the times possibly might move to 11 o'clock, as right now they're at 10 a.m.
You need some single guys. You need some single guys. I don't think I do. You're right here on the championship team. Yeah, me, you. We're not thinking of things.
And Jeff Bradley is talking it over with his first overall pick, Dalton Munson, right now, as you see in the red. And it looks like he does take Vince Siebert, so that is a very wise pick on his part.
Well, you got to make sure that when you're out there on the field that Vince stays behind the fence. Watch for those flying bats.
Okay, and now that puts the Florida Marlins on the clock. Zach Cassie's team. He has wasted no time in selecting his team really fast today. He's selected Connor Armstrong and Brent Missel in his first-round picks. And no avail here. He picks Matt DeVera in the first 30 seconds of his pick.
Well, I'll tell you what, Zach is coming to this draft prepared. I'm telling you what, right now, if there's anybody that is prepared, Zach's the man, because a White Sox fan, you got to be prepared.
He actually did bring a notebook full of his rankings, his own rankings, and who he thought would be the sleepers and possibly his team for the 2009 Mystery Slugfest. And it looks like to be the Diamondbacks are on the clock right now.
And I would have to say, Mike, that with Scarberry being the manager of this squad, I think he's going to go young.
You think so?
I'm just going out on a limb. I bet he's going to take Sable.
I really disagree with you there. I think he's going to go for some more experience because right now he has 2 juniors on his squad, and I think he's going to look for more of a college-esque type person. And I'm going to go with Doug Siebert on this pick. Is what he's going to choose.
I know you got a real solid explosion of a bat in Dylan Grabowski. Tyler Wargo, speed. Both experience, Scarberry's experience. I think you bring somebody, one of those young guns in there, might help the squad.
And the only 2 rookies in the field this year are Tyler Sable and J.J. Cravata, as they are the only 2 new freshmen actually in the field. Other than that, the rest have played at least some type of this tennis ball league. Other than that, let's get to the pick right now, as Matt Scarberry is very anxious to show who he's going to pick. And looks like, what a surprise, Tyler Sable. That is a surprise to me.
Hey, that's a good call by me. I think you got to remember Scats is always going to choose somebody off the wall.
All right, and now that brings us to the Cincinnati Reds. They're on the clock. And
Hey, guess what my next pick is going to be? No
looks as if Jake Ewing is going to select Doug Siebert. That's a decent pick there. I'll agree with that. What do you think?
And again, I thought Doug might go a little bit higher in this draft, but some guys are looking for youngsters, good solid left-handed fielder as well as a left-handed stick.
All right, and that brings us to the Oakland Athletics, Neil Turner's team, and he has selected Tom Segowich as the 6th overall pick and Dexter Washington as the 7th overall pick. Right now, he is in the 3rd round, 18th pick.
Ryan Falstaff.
And he's leaning towards Ryan Falsgraf right now. And I say the next best available besides Ryan Falsgraf would be either Jaron Barash or possibly Ryan Alderson.
I'll tell you what, we're not going to have a mistake if he went Falsgraf. Even if he decides to put him on the mound, that would be a pretty solid pick, either mound first base.
All right, he picks Ryan Falsgraf. And that is the end of the first 3 rounds of the draft. And we'll get back to you in just a second. Okay, now it's time for the post-draft analysis with our Mid-Spring Slugfest expert. We talked a little bit earlier about the sleepers in the draft. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's 3 that come to mind right off top. Is Logan Flipson, had a real solid spring Slugfest last year. Chased the balls down, jumped over the fence. If he has the opportunity to use his pole vault pole, he might be able to catch a couple more fly balls. The second one, Jaron Barash. What a massive specimen right there. He puts that shirt on for that mid-spring Slugfest, with those massive biceps. That shirt's almost just like coming off. So what power he's going to have. The other one is Brennan Martin. In the offseason, he likes to hunt and everything. He wears his camouflage. He gets out there. He might be able to hide behind the trees. And he tell you what, if he ever gets the opportunity to pitch, he's got one grade of a camouflage fastball.
Okay, so those were your sleepers. Now, what's your predictions? Who's your champion?
Well, I'll tell you what, champion right there, just looking by the numbers that we got down there, Matt Scarberry just picked one heck of a team in the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's got power in Dylan Grabowski. He's got speed in Tyler Wargo. He's got youth in Tyler Sable. And this Reese Nicklin, too, and just watch out for him. But I'll tell you what, Mike, if there's an opportunity to pick teams based on colors, I would have to go with the Oakland A's.
Okay, what about your MVP?
Well, MVP right now is got to go with the Arizona Diamondbacks, Dylan Grabowski, just because of his raw power. That ball just jumps off his bat, and like I told you earlier during the selection, when it jumps off the bat, it's almost like he's tearing the cover off that tennis ball.
Okay, and now your home run king.
Well, I'll tell you what, our home run king last year was Dalton Munson, and that was a real good power explosion right there. But you know what? This year, you got to watch out for the little mighty Reese Nicklin.
Okay, and that's this year's 2009 Mid-Spring Slugfest Draft. Look for us on May 17th and 24th in Ransom, Illinois.